Today we are going to be looking at football players who have killed someone. With that, let's get started. First on our list is Alonso. Alonso is a player I'm sure everybody knows quite well of. The Chelsea left back was once a player of Bolton Wanderers. He played for Bolton Wanderers from 2010 to 2013 before going to Fiorentina and ended up in Chelsea. Before that, in 2011, when he still played for Bolton Wanderers, he ended up in an horrific accident. When his BMW struck a wall at a speed of 100 mph, the passenger died in an accident. He was later sentenced to 4 years in jail, but got reduced to 21 months. Alonso was later let off without any jail time, seeing as he paid the sum of €500 to the victim's family. Next on our list is Patrick Kluivert. This name is a name we all quite know too well. The former Ajax, AC Milan and Barcelona player was one of the best players in Dutch history, but at the age of 19 in 1996 he was involved in a car accident and a huge Ajax fan, Martins Bootman, was killed in the process. But seeing as he was charged with the case of reckless driving, he served no jail time but was given community service. Next, Diego Bonannotti. You may not know this man, but he is said to be one of the uprising youngsters. The Argentine played for River Plate as a forward in 2008, as he also went ahead to win a gold medal at the Olympic in 2008 as he was part of the Argentina squad. 1 year later, his reckless driving came to display as he struck a tree with his father's Peugeot 307 in December 2009. Lucky for him, he survived, but the rest passengers didn't, as 3 lives were claimed in the accident. Fast forward 4 months later, he was back on the pitch, but some did believe that he should have been charged with 3 cases of manslaughter. Lee Hughes. Hughes was a striker for West Brom Albion who made over 200 appearances. He was charged with not just 1 but 2 horrible crimes. Let's start with the first one, shall we? In 2003, the 27-year-old striker struck a Renault with his Mercedes while driving on the wrong side of the road. 2 passengers of the Renault ended up getting injured in the process, while 1 was killed in the accident. He was later sentenced to 3 years in jail. While the second case took place in 2011, when he was charged with sexual assault but was later changed to common assault. Mohamed Mujik was just another unlucky man. He participated in the 1962 World Cup and was also an Olympic silver medalist, known to be the star of the Yugoslavian national team during the 1950s and the 1960s. I don't know what was going on through this man's head, but for all we know, this man's life will never be the same after this. In 1962 World Cup, during the first match against the Soviet Union, his terrible tackle broke an opposition player's leg. The tackle was so bad that the Yugoslavian Football Association had to send the guy back home. Now, the player that Mujik broke his leg. 7 years later, he died at the age of 34. Cause, it was said that a tumor developed in the scar tissue at the fracture of his leg, making Mujik the killer. Captain Philip Fullard. Captain Fullard was a young promising youngster who played football for Norwich while still in school. He was part of the Royal Air Force during the First and Second World War, and obviously, he killed a lot of people. He later ended up with the 6th highest body count at the end of World War I. But seeing as he was born in the era in which First and Second World War started, his career was cut short. He suffered a compound leg fracture during a friendly game between military soldiers. But make no mistake, this man was a hero, as he was awarded the Gallantry Award for his service in the war twice. Luke McCormick. In 2008, McCormick was driving at M6 motorway at a speed of 97 mph. Let's just say this guy was not to be driving when his blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. When coming back from his former teammate's wedding, the accident resulted to the death of 2 boys in the car, and the father suffered a neck fracture. The witness at the car accident site was reported when saying that immediately after the car crash, McCormick said, I'm so sorry, I just fell asleep, I'm so sorry." His 7-year sentence was later cut short to 3.5 years, in which was previously decided. Well, guess what, folks? The man is back in English football and as the captain of Ligue 1 Plymouth agrees. Bobby Newton. Well, unlike the famous Newton we all know, there's something definitely wrong with this guy. Newton was a player of the Hartlepool in 1990s, but one day he had a car accident and fatally injured his teammate David Wigton and was sentenced to 9 months in jail. But unfortunately, Newton was a madman who couldn't learn from his mistake. He moved to North America to continue his career, but in the mid-1980s he was charged with reckless driving and his driving license was confiscated. Amazing, right? You thought the guy would learn, but no. After retirement, he ended up as a lorry driver and again he was charged with drunk driving. Next is Bruno Fernandes das Dores de Souza. The young goalkeeper showed potential as he was linked to many clubs like Barcelona, but things took a wrong turn. The Brazilian lunatic was nothing short of a psychopath. In 2010, he was arrested for the disappearance of the mother of his child. His cousin later confessed during the police interrogation that both he and Bruno were behind her disappearance. He and Bruno kidnapped, tortured and killed her. Bruno was later sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, but recently made the news as he signed a contract with the Brazilian side Bora Esporte after his premature release. Last on our list is Alexander Villaplane. This man is the last and the most craziest, psychopathic and cruelest on our list. Villaplane played for France at the 1928 Summer Olympics and 1930 World Cup as he captained the French national team. But along the line, he went into a life of crime. Villaplane was also a Nazi's collaborator as he was the one who informed on the French resistance during the Nazi invasion. He was later made the leader of the North African Brigade. He also claimed to spare lives in exchange for money and enjoyed being part of the firing side in massacres. Eventually, this psychopathic sadist met his end in 1944, December Boxing Day, when Paris was liberated. Once a French hero, now a national traitor. He was later sentenced to death by firing squad. That's it for players who have killed someone. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.